Matt Meehan here for editoririshboxing.com. Gary, it's been a while.
Yeah, man.
Since we last talked, you've been running miles, drinking coffees, yoga, whatever Gary does. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. I was running miles this morning. We had a run club on Diva Coffee, and I'm after going over on my ankle, so my ankle's a little bit swollen and a little bit sore, so I've been hobbling around, but hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Not too strenuous at all.
Nothing too serious, and I'm alright in the next couple of days. But
tell us, what have you been at since we last seen you in the ring?
I've been training away. Since you last seen me in the ring was December, so it's been a couple of months. I've took a bit of time from December to kind of end of February. I kind of just completely stayed away from boxing, just took a little break from it. It was probably the first break that I'd taken in probably about 15 years or so from the sport. So I just took a couple of weeks to kind of decompress, and when I lost my first fight in my career against Felix, I kind of jumped straight back in. I wanted to get that win back straight away. That I took a loss and I wanted to get a win back straight away, and I was straight back into camp and straight back into kind of hard work and stuff. But after this one, I kind of just took a bit of time away from boxing and a bit of time to just live normal life and feel how it felt to kind of live normal life without boxing for a couple of weeks. And when I kind of started to do that, I realised how much of a void boxing left in my life and how much more I wanted to kind of get back. So I've been training away. I've had a little bit of a setback with my eyes. I'm going to get them seen by a specialist at the minute, and I'm in a rehabilitation program to just get my eyes sorted and stuff. But other than that, I've been tipping away, no sparring. I've been training away, doing a good bit of running, lifting weights, and just keeping myself fit and keeping myself ready. Keeping my eye in now the last couple of weeks with a lot more boxing. Like I said, I took a good while away from boxing, but the last couple of weeks I've been boxing most days as well. Doing a good bit of running. I'm looking forward to getting back into the ring at a new weight and a new kind of fresh start very, very soon. Like I said, for the first couple of weeks I didn't really look at a comeback or what's next or anything like that. Took me time away, refreshed, reevaluated myself, and now I've got a baby on the way at the end of this month. So
Congratulations again.
Yeah, congratulations again for the millionth time. But no, I'm ready for that new part of my life. Ready for that part of my life.
It's a new part of life, though. Again, it's a blessing, you know, that's happening. I say it's a good time as well.
I've always seen myself being a dad and having kids, but I genuinely cannot wait for it all to happen and to experience it all. And I feel very, very blessed and grateful to just have a supportive family around me, and to have a supportive partner, and to have a partner who I'm in love with, and have all of this love surrounding me, and have a baby to bring into the world full of love and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm really, really excited about that part of my life, and that's kind of where my energy has been going. Like I said, I took a bit of time away from boxing, and that's what my energy was going into. But now I want me baby to be able to see that when they put their mind to something, and when they want to do something, they can follow their dreams and all of this kind of stuff. So I want to lead by example for my child and show them what I've done, that I had a dream and I worked hard and I believed in myself and I can make this happen. So I want them to be able to do the same. So I've got to lead by example, and I'm looking forward to doing all that. So when my baby's here, I'm ready to get back into camp now. Like I said, I've kept myself fit, I've kept myself strong. I'm ready to get the all clear now and get back into camp and have some more memorable nights.
How long till the all clear?
I think I'm back to see the specialist in the 4th of June, so should be hopefully get the all clear in the 4th of June, get my licence renewed then. Licence obviously only lasts for 12 months, so it's been over 12 months since I've renewed my licence. I got my brain scans, MRIs done all last week.
Hospital?
No, Alliance Medical, Charter Medical in Smithfield. Get them done there every year, so got them all done. They're all ready to go. Doctor's medical is booked in for this week. Eye test booked for after I get the all clear with the eye specialist, and then I'm back ready to go. Probably start camp at probably the end of June, go July, August then for a camp, so probably September time I'm looking at fighting again.
You said new weight, like and a fresh one. What does that entail? Can you give just a bit more insight of what you meant by that?
Yeah, I've been fighting at lightweight, 61 kilos, 60 kilos in the amateurs, and then turn professional, and you get an extra kilo. 61.2 is championship weight in the pros. So I've been fighting at that weight since I'm 18 years old. I'm 29 now. So 11 years I was at lightweight, and it was just getting a little bit too much for me. And you convince yourself over a long time that it's nothing, and it is what it is, and it's part of the process, which it is. But I've just been finding a little bit harder to get down to weight. And I remember when I was like 22 and 23, and all the lads who were a little bit older than me in the gym used to tell me at the time, when you get into your late 20s you start feeling it a little bit more, and I used to laugh it off. And
you're not laughing it off,
but no, it got a bit much for me, and it was just taking, not that it got a bit much, I could still do it, and I could still very much do it now, but it's taken a little bit off my performance every time, and it's taken a little bit off my punch power. It's been taking a bit off my fitness going through the round, and it's just been taking a little bit more and more every time, and I was getting away with it probably a little bit more so when I was at the lower levels, kind of fringe European level and stuff like that. And then when I stepped up to fringe world level, it's been taking a bit too much out of my performances. So decided to step up to a new weight class and campaign at a new weight class, one that suits me better at this stage of my life and this stage of my career. And I'm just excited to get back in and get back to work, and get up the rankings in this new way.
Well, we seen Times Square Canelo and Inoue just literally a few hours ago, and a bank of a weekend for boxing. Does Gary Cully want into that Riyadh season scene?
Yeah, into all the big fights and all the big nights and bright lights. And like I've always said, I always want the biggest fights. And look, I've took 2 losses in my career now as well, so that's not a thing that I'm going in and I'm trying to protect records, or I'm going to take easier fights because I want to protect something, or I want to portray something that's false. I want to take the biggest fights. I want to take the biggest challenges. I want to make the most money. I want to get the most amount of titles and the most amount of money in these next couple of years. Like I said, I'm 29 now. I probably have maybe 4 years left in the sport before I'll never fight again. Like, do you know what I mean? So I want to make the most out of this, build a life for myself and for my family that's just about to be starting to
just
be built. About to start this new period in my life. So I want to be able to provide a life and build a life for them for the rest of our lives. So I want to make the most money and the most amount of the most success and everything else that I can over the next couple of years before I retire. So I'll be taking the biggest fights. I won't be saying no to any big challenges. Like I never really have. Anyway.
Yeah, I get you. Take me back to December. It's a few hours after the fight. You're sitting in a hotel in Monaco, probably somewhere around the Monacan region. And what's going through your head at that moment? And what are you thinking after that?
Not much, to be honest, man. It was like I kind of had accepted that. It was nearly that I'd nearly accepted that in the whole lead up to the fight. I hadn't been enjoying my boxing for quite a while, and I needed a break away from it. It was becoming more of a
chore.
Yeah, chore, and just like hard. Just like I said, one of the things was I was in a calorie deficit and making weight and cutting weight for a long time, like 10-12 weeks before fights, and it was just getting hard to kind of show up. And in the morning you're doing 8 rounds of sparring, and then in the evening you've got a tough conditioning session, and you're low on calories and you're low on fuel, and it just became
groggy and
just became hard to me, like, you know, and it just became unenjoyable and stuff like that. So after the Monaco fight, I was kind of just I'd expected it nearly in a way, to be honest with you, because I hadn't been enjoying my boxing. And most of my performances that you will see in any highlight reels that are out there of me, they're all when I'm in a good mood and when I love my boxing and when I'm enjoying it, and that's when the best performances always come out of anybody. So when I wasn't enjoying it, I was kind of half expecting it. I was probably in my own head retired for about 2 or 3 weeks after. I just didn't want to know anything about boxing. Obviously,
didn't want to watch it, didn't want to say it.
I'm always grateful and I always feel blessed for what I do, but when I was over in Monaco, I was blessed to be there and I was grateful to be there, but at the same time I half didn't want to be there, like, do you know what I mean? So now I'm coming back, and I'm doing this for me now, like, do you know what I mean? I'm doing this for my family and I'm doing this for me, and I have a fresh new motivation. So like I said, I'm just looking forward to getting back there. And
were you surprised by the scorecard when it was read out? So
do you know what? I can't even tell you, because the whole fight is just a whole.
Is it a blur to you?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You were kind of you were there, but you weren't there.
I wasn't. I even remember in the change rooms before, like matchroom will come in, you'll get your calls, you get your 30 minutes call, you get your 15 minutes, and usually when they come in and they say, right, you've got 15 minutes to ring walk, 10 minutes to ring walk, you start feeling them butterflies and the legs start to go a little bit. Oh, you've got 5 minutes and legs start to go. But the whole experience, the whole week was just like there was no nerves, and I was kind of putting it down to, all right, I'm just experienced now, but I just really didn't didn't really want to be there looking back, like, you know. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm glad to have experienced that and glad to have got away from boxing for a little bit and take my time off to kind of reflect on it all. But I wouldn't ever go into a ring in that kind of mindset ever again. So
how do you refrain yourself from getting into that mindset ever again?
I think now I've just got a new motivation, and I've been doing a lot of just reflection and work on myself to kind of realise where I was at and how I got to that point in my life. And I think like I said, the weight was a big thing, and I'd been putting an awful lot, just heaping an awful lot of pressure and stress on myself, and it was becoming, like I said, unenjoyable. Now I'm back doing boxing because, like I said, them 2 weeks after the Monaco fight, I was nearly retired in my own head, and then I got back to doing a bit of boxing because I love boxing and it's what I do and I enjoyed to box.
Like boxing is Gary Cully, you know, like for you, like when you think of Gary Cully, it's always boxing that comes first.
It's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever done.
And it's all you've ever known, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And all of these things branch off it, but boxing is first and foremost all I've ever done. And I just got back into a point of watching boxing again and enjoying. Like I used to grow up watching the likes of Prince Nassim and Floyd Mayweather and highlight reels of them, and Paul the Punisher Williams, who was like 6'2" welterweight, who used to like throw over 1,000 punches in a fight, and all these people who I used to come up watching. I started watching them again and started enjoying watching them again and taking little bits. I think that I fell into a little rut of maybe getting stuck between styles. I was obviously with Pete up until the Felix fight, and then after the Felix fight I went to Liverpool for a camp and kind of changed up scenery but changed up style a little bit for that Mould fight as well. And then from Liverpool after the Mould fight I was back with Niall for the Patera fight, and I just kind of got caught in between a couple of styles and a couple of coaches, different things, and I was just in between and mixed in between. I never really thought about boxing with my own brain and my own self, and I think how I got so good and how I've got all this success is a lot attributed to how good I am and how creative I can be, and
especially work outfits.
I kind of got caught in between with listening to coaches a little bit too much and putting too much trust into different coaches, and nothing on the coaches at all, but it was more so me that I didn't trust myself enough. I started trusting coaches a little bit too much, and now I've got back to just boxing and fighting in a style that I want to fight in, and fighting in my own style, in Gary Cully's style, rather than in this style and that style, and mixed between too many different styles and not knowing what to do. And I was nearly a little bit confused getting into the ring, not knowing what to do and what style to fight in. So just had, like I said, a complete break away from it and a complete refresh and a complete reflection, and I'm glad to be back now, enjoying it again. And like I said, I wouldn't get into a ring again with the mindset that I've had in the past year, 12 months, 18 months. Now it's a new mindset, fresh mindset, and I'm getting in there for me and to enjoy it completely. So
one last question, any exclusive we can see you said September?
Before the end of the year, preferably before the summer is out, like in around
August.
The end of the summer, August. I'm hearing could be a go, yeah. If
the question.
If a promoter comes to Dublin and Gary Cully's available, like you best believe I'll be putting
Gary Cully's always active, though.
and I'll be on the show for sure, man, for sure. So if fingers crossed, the plan is by the end of the summer. So whether that be August, September. It'll be either one of those months, I would imagine, and that's what my plan is. So August, September, and then another one before the end of the year, fingers crossed. So we finish off the year with 2 fights. I've not obviously fought in 2025 yet, so my last fight was at the end of 2024. Haven't fought in 2025 yet, so I'd like to get 2 fights to finish off the year, settle into this new weight class, and start climbing them rankings then, man, and start chasing big fights in a new weight class.
Gary, on that note, really appreciate it as always. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, bro.